The Mandalorain, Season 2, Episode 4, titled Chapter 12, The Siege. Now, this episode might be the second weakest episode of this season so far, mainly because you can kind of tell, because this episode is directed by Carl Weathers, who's, in the show, he's cried Creed and all that kind of stuff, and this is his first directorial debut, this is the first time him directing anything. And while watching this episode, you can kind of tell this is directed by a first-time director, of how the camera is stilt, how the camera is moving, how the because if you think about it, like, the acting side of things is handled really well. An actor directing other actors. You know what I mean? The acting side is pretty well. But the camera and the fluidity of it is very stilt and very stained, that isn't that same level of engagement than say other episodes. I mean, even from like action scenes where there's a couple of shooters, there's a couple of like characters just shooting guns and all that kind of stuff, and you can tell it's a bit of just plant the camera here and just let the action go without the camera kind of move along with the action. And it is that whole thing where it's like, if you know, you can kind of just tell it's directed by someone who has another director, which is not bad. I mean, I'm not shitting on the episode. I'm just saying it's alright, it's good, it's fine. There is a cool ass action sequence for like the last 10 minutes. It's really well put together. But you can kind of tell, like, this is the first time director. So it's not going to be like, when the show's done, it's not going to be on my, like, top X amount of episodes of the show. But the rest of it is, like, the action's fantastic. There's certain plot points in this episode that makes you, like, if you're a person who felt like episode 2 was filler, you may feel like, oh my god, because the idea is Mando's trying to, it's like the ship is so damaged, he goes and revisits Cara Dune and Carl Weathers' character. What is Carl Weathers' character? Like, I keep forgetting his character. What? Oh dear. And it's the whole thing, while you're waiting the ship to repair, why you do this for us? Why you help us trying to take care of one of the Empire stuff? And it's, and that's how you get the siege, right? And this, and with those reveals, without hearing spoilers, all I will say is the speculation without telling you the exact speculation. And that is, with the reveal that happens about halfway through, of what they are doing with the child, what they're doing for Baby Yoda, it's, there's a part of me, and definitely with the end scene, how like the set looks. Is the Mandalorian with Garth Gillian and all that kind of thing, is this basically the original of the First Order? Is this like how, like, let's dive into the extended canon a little bit. Like, Clone Wars was basically the gap between episode 2 and 3, right? And Rebels was pretty much the gap between episodes 3 and 4, or 3 and Rogue One, right? What if this is basically the Clone Wars and Rogue One of the sequel trilogy? What happened between episodes 6 and 7? What happened between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens? And we see the origin of the First Order. And there's a part of me that feels like that, because it's like, why would they want to do that? Do that certain situation. I'm trying to think in my head, and I have a feeling we're gonna see Ahsoka Tano next episode. And to see the physical threat of, this is a speculation what I think is going to happen next episode, right? I wouldn't be shocked next episode we see Ahsoka Tano in live action, played by Rosario Dawson, but this is going to be the end of Ahsoka Tano. We are seeing the end of the character. The show, like, how bad this character is, how evil, and how basically why this guy is the biggest bad, because all he has been doing is just standing there saying words, saying you have something of mine that belongs to me, and that's all he's been saying basically most of the time. But seeing the physical threat of that, because he has a Darksaber, for God's sakes. So it that can be interesting to see from there. It's a good episode. It's a good episode, and yeah, it's fine. It's just, you can tell, it's not going to be one of your favorites just because it's directed by a first-time director, and it's following maybe some tropes that you can see from first times.